Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the head apostles of the great millstone who do rule well and teach well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, listening and learning. Lord willing, you find this lesson edifying. This lesson is inspired by this article I found on naturalnews.com. Let's get right into it. AI's rogue summer. AI is artificial intelligence. From viral design, we'll get with viral design and the wicked elite are using viral design for, to digital mind reading. We'll get digital mind reading as well. Regulators scramble for control. Let's get the key sentence that kind of sparked the lesson. This key sentence right here caught my attention. A former AI engineer has joined a startup claiming it can decode human thoughts into AI prompts using non-invasive neural recording headbands. And what that is gradualism. And this is also what John saw on the island of Patmos. The fourth beast that's talked about in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, whose deadly wound was healed, coming back into power. The other nations getting rich off of Babylon the Great, the whore, Also, what did he also see? He saw people being in awe of this technology, and Esau Edom gradually rolling it out. And he Causeth. That Greek word for Causeth is poeo, to get ready, to make ready, to bring about in the earth, basically, to cause to do something. Through what? Through unrighteous decrees, so on and so forth. Also through gradualism, which is a tactic that Esau Edom is using to roll this out. We're reading about it. We're seeing it. And that's what John saw on the island of Patmos as well. And people being burnt up for taking it via the thermonuclear fire from the missiles and the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And he also saw the hopeful elect, the remnant, get the victory over this man, his mark, his image, the number of his name, this wicked kingdom, and death, and be called up into the fathership with Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, we be of that number. This is digital mind reading. Continuing, systems rely only on non-invasive functional MRI scans or wearable EEG head caps to map thoughts without requiring brain implants. Gradualism, let's get that. Gradualism is the belief or policy that change happens best through slow, steady steps rather than sudden major shifts. This idea applies to different fields, including science, surveillance under the skin, biometrics, and politics. Wicked, unrighteous decrees. Woe to him that decree unrighteous decrees. To describe how systems develop over time. Let's get right to the scriptures. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image is the system. The beast is the modern day Roman Empire, which we're living in, the final captivity of the Israelites. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Babylon 2.0. The golden statue 2.0. And that word killed goes into being cut off, being separated, being ostracized from society, and some actually deleted, only to be raised up with Yahweh Shai when he returns and given immortality. This is Revelation 13 and 16. He causeth all. That word causeth is the Greek word poeo, which it goes into to get ready, to bring about, to be the author of, to cause to do something, to make to do something, to make ready, to prepare, to be the authors of the cause, to make to do something, to be the authors of a thing, to cause, bring about, to do. And that's what they're doing. And this is what John saw on the island of Patmos, man. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, going into Neuralink, going into different type of RFID CHIPs that they're going to introduce in the form of putting it in your hand. and you have people already taking it, and there's a punishment for taking it. Revelation 14:9. Also, it's talked about in the book of Revelation, the 16th chapter, I believe, where people get a grievous sore. C-A-N-C to the E to the R. Now, speaking of C-A-N-C to the E to the R, what is this man using? We'll get back to this point right here. We're just flowing through the spirit with some points that I have on the screen right here, and we'll get some more precepts and wrap on up. Don't wanna keep y'all too long. Viral design, because the title says AI Rogue Summer, from viral design to digital mind reading. What is viral design? Viral design is scientists are using AI to design new what? Artificial intelligence used to design brand new what? VIRUS to the E to the S. Well, what did the Lord say about E? He's a physician of no value, man. The Egyptian shall help in vain. And the physician, the real physician, is going to cut off that long disease, man. And that's Esau, Edom, and this wicked empire and this rulership. This is Job 13:4. But ye are the forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. This is Sirach 10. Let's get Sirach 10. Let's make sure we keep that window open in case we want to go back. It's in Sirach. I think it's 10:10. Yeah, Sirach 10:10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is a king to tomorrow shall die. And who's in rulership? Who's in this? Who's basically the rulers of this modern day empire? The wicked elite. You know, Esau, Edom, starting with the wicked elite. You know, the top elite banking families, and they're going to be taken out of power violently. And the elect are going to give victory over this man, his mark, his image, his name, his number, and death. But back to the point, you know, Jeremiah 28:8. Let's get that. We'll get a few more and wrap on up. Don't want to keep y'all too long. Jeremiah 28:8. And it reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And what do you have happening in the world as this technology is being rolled out? Well, you have earthquakes in diverse places. That's talked about in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. We'll get that, Lord willing. Matthew, the 24th chapter. All signs that we're in those times, man. And as these things will be happening, Esau, Edom will be rolling out this technology bit by bit, piece by piece. And the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will be giving warning not to take this man's brand that he's looking to put inside you. Because when you put that brand inside you, ultimately, you're pledging allegiance to this man and his kingdom. And through that brand, that micro C-hip that he puts inside you, I got to be careful because of YouTube algorithms. They'll take the video down if we just say every word how we want to say it. If you put that micro C-hip inside you, well, they can read your thoughts. They know where you are. They can cut your bank account off and on. Basically, you're pledging servitude to Esau, Edom, and his kingdom. And the Lord said he's reserved 7,000 men. 7 is the number of completion, who have not bowed the knees to the image of Baal. A complete number of men who will be giving warning and ultimately be redeemed, you know, and ultimately protected, fed in the times to come, you know, and ultimately saved, man. This is because that's what this truth is about: salvation and spiritual growth. Digital mind reading, how the technology works. Neural scanning devices track blood flow, shifts, or electrical brain waves while a person listens, speaks silently, or views images. There goes those pseudo miracles. AI decoding. Machine learning models analyze these complex patterns and match them to no linguistic or visual data libraries. Recreation. Let's get right to the point. Current capabilities and limits. Matter of fact, let's get this. Recreation. Computers generate continuous text streams, synthetic speech, or visual approximations of what the person is picturing or thinking. Current capabilities and limits. Speech and text. Decoders translate the thoughts into words with varying accuracy, often aided by large language models to clean up rough patterns. Visual reconstruction. AI can rebuild rough images of what a person is looking at based strictly on brain scan data. Accuracy constraints. So systems generally require extensive prior training or an individual's specific brain data and are far from perfect. So ultimately, what is he going to introduce next? Well, the actual CHI to the P. But what this is a tactic of gradualism and rolling it out piece by piece. And he Causeth. Yeah, medical uses, cognitive liberty. Wow, Let's read this. Experts raise serious concerns about mental privacy and the future for forced or unauthorized thought surveillance. What did Donald Trump say? We want to bring surveillance under the skin. What did Yuval Noah Harari say? People basically can be hacked. Well, this is being brought out and about in the earth through this technology. Medical uses. The primary benevolent goal is restoring communication for paralyzed or lock-in patients unable to speak. And other pseudo miracles that he's going to promote. Convenience, being able to speak with dead family members, pseudo immortality, so on and so forth. And that's talked about in the scriptures as well, those left-handed miracles. This is 2 Ezra 9. Going back into this point, Colombia earthquake, civil unrest, because as this technology is being rolled out, which is a sign that we're in the end times, as well as civil unrest, racial wars, floods, the gathering in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat being the Lord's judgment, the tiny tops, the small hats, drawing America into that conflict with Iran, the Carmanians. That's all biblical. And who's Iran backed by? Russia and China. And all those nations that are confederate with America, Babylon the Great, they're starting to hate the whore. They're starting to not let America go into those places where their bases are. Nah, you can't launch them here. Nah, fuck that. Go launch somewhere else. And eventually they're going to shoot their missiles over here. That's all prophecy, and it's all happening right before our eyes, man. And it's all talked about in the scriptures, man. This is 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently. How do you measure it? Ultimately through what the Lord has told the prophets that's written in the text, man, and what's happening in the earth. Measure it up to what's written. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. How do you measure it? Through the prophecies, what's written. And cause them to, and it's like, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, through who? Through the prophets. Then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And what do we see? Earthquake in Colombia, earthquake in Venezuela, floods, Esau, Edom, and that perpetual hatred that he has towards Jake, and that getting stronger and stronger day by day. More videos. There's videos coming out. I seen a video a few days ago of these three chicks that look like Edomites. They could be Jake, but whatever. We'll just take it for what it's like, what the eyes see. Because there's many more videos of Jake getting beat up by groups of Edomites, man. Actually, there was this dude at a concert that got the mic and said basically fuck America. And what happened? He got packed out by like four or five Edomites, man. Nolan Wells, Emmett Till, so on and so forth. Ultimately, prophecy is playing out right before your very eyes, man. And blessed to your eyes if they can see, and your ears if they can hear. 2 Ezra 9:1. Back to the point. Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs, what's the signs? The prophecies. which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, what's happening out there in South America? Well, we just Googled it. Colombia earthquake, civil unrest, uproars of the people in the world. What do you have worldwide? Well, you have people in the uproar because they're not making enough money. People using credit cards and whatnot just to float to the next paycheck. The homeless rate rising. Well, that's all signs that we're in the end, as well as earthquakes in diverse places. That's what's talked about in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. It's also reiterated in 2nd Ezra. The book of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Yeah. And how does he speak? Through his servants, the prophets, man. 2nd Ezra 15:1. Let's get Matthew 24 and we'll get one or two more precepts and wrap on up. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Lord willing, you find the lesson edifying. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. That's possessive. Speak to Jerusalem comfortably. Isaiah 40:1. That her punishment is accomplished, man. Let's get that. I don't want to butcher it. Isaiah 40. Speak comfortably to Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is the people before it's a place. And that's not talking about the tiny tops, because they're not the ones singing this beautiful song. Where are the prophets? Where are the prophets of the tiny tops? Nowhere. Isaiah 40:1. Comfort ye my people, saith their power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem. And that's what we're doing. And cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins. Punishment, captivity after captivity after captivity, being discontinued from our heritage, Jake being completely gone. But ultimately, the remnant will be restored and be brought back to remembrance. What? Through men going out on the highways and byways, through ultimately men putting up epistles, and ultimately hearing the word, and ultimately being restored. The two sticks being brought back together. That's all happening at the same time, while earthquakes in diverse places are happening, famines, civil unrest is being basically, civil unrest. Better yet, let me say it the right way, is on the horizon. All these things are talked about in the text, man, in the Holy Scriptures. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Yeah. This is Matthew 24. We'll get this and wrap on up. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Let's get this as well, because this is beautiful. In case I didn't read it, in case we didn't cover it, Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And what is Esau, Edom, and the wicked elite using to? What is Esau, Edom, and the wicked elite using viral design AI for? Well, they're using it for bringing out new pestilences. You have pestilence among lettuce, certain produce, so on and so forth. All signs that we're in those days, man. We're in those times. This is Matthew 24, down to let's get right to the point. 6, and this is red writing. This is the words of the Lord right here. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is yet not. The end is yet not. For nation shall rise against nation. And what do you have going out there in the valley of decision? Nation rising against nation. And the Lord is working this thing perfectly. He's the Lord. The scriptures say, Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. And what is he brewing up? War. To ultimately to bring judgment, man. And also with that judgment, salvation for the elect, man. He's a perfectly balanced power. This is Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Yeah. And that's the time that we're living in. Coming into the seventh trump, man. Coming into that seventh trumpet, man. That time is better yet speeding up and fastly approaching. The Lord is speeding up this thing for the elect's sake. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. We don't want to make this too long. So, this thing is rolling out as far as this digital technology. And John saw this digital technology being rolled out, and ultimately people taking it and being burnt up, and the elect getting victory over it. So with that, I'm going to close on out. Lord willing, you find the lesson edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash. And until next time, next lesson, Lord willing, Shalom.